It is week 4, day 3. Please make sure that you take your attendance. Today's goal is that students will solve and graph two-step inequalities. We solved two-step inequalities yesterday. Now we're just going to work on graphing them. Make sure that you log in. Once you're logged in, you can click on the link. Make sure your name is in the corner. Otherwise, I will not get the assignment. So, two-step inequalities. This one says 9 plus 2z is greater than or equal to 1. You solve these just like regular equations. The only difference is if you flip the equation over to where you put the what's on the right side on the left side and what's on the left side to the right side, you have to flip the symbol. And then if you divide or multiply by a negative number, you also have to flip the sign. In this case, it doesn't have to do any of those, so we're going to start by subtracting 9 on both sides of the inequality. And so the 9's will cancel, 2z drops down, the sign stays the same, 1 minus 9 is negative 8. You can use Desmos, and then you're going to divide by 2. Because 2 is positive, the symbol is going to stay the same. So it's going to stay greater than or equal to. The 2's cancel, the z drops down. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. And then when you graph it, it has the equals to sign. So that means that you go to negative 4 and you click on it. You see how the circle's filled in? That means it includes negative 4, equal to. And it says z is greater than that. So we go all the way to the side and we click on the arrow so that indicates everything between there. Click submit and you're good to go to the next question. So this one says 2w plus 10 is greater than 2. We're going to, I forgot to put the plus 10 there. We're going to start by subtracting 10 on both sides. And so what ultimately happens is 2w comes down, the 10's cancel, the sign stays the same. 2 minus 10 is negative 8. And then we're going to divide by 2. It's a positive 2. That means the sign's going to stay the same. So w is greater than negative 4. Now this time, it doesn't have that equals to sign. So we want to open circle. So click it once, click it twice to give you an open circle. And then it says it's greater than negative 4. So we're going down here and we'll click the arrow for everything that's greater than negative 4. We'll restart. These are very similar problems. So 7 plus 2q is greater than negative 1. We're going to subtract 7 on both sides. And the 7's will cancel. 2q comes down. The sign stays the same. Negative 1 minus negative 7 is negative 8. We're going to divide by 2. I don't know if it's just a coincidence that we keep getting negative 4. But q comes down. The sign stays the same. And then negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. Again, we're going to go through and we're going to click negative 4. We're going to click it twice because the equal sign's not there. And greater than, again, is to the right. We're going to jump a level and see if we can make the problems get a little bit harder. So this is a similar problem. The only difference is we want to flip it. So I want to move this stuff to the left. So I'm going to write 16 plus 13g and then because I flipped the sign, or because I flipped the problem, I'm going to flip the sign. So instead of a less than sign, I now want a greater than sign. And then negative 10 moves to the right. And then now it's just like normal, we go through and solve it. But we flipped the sign because I flipped the problem. I switched those two sides. So I'm going to subtract 16 on both sides. I get 13g comes down, the 16s cancel, the sign stays the same, and then negative 10 minus 16 is negative 26. We're going to divide both sides by 13. And those will cancel. G is greater than negative 2. And then we just graph it. So we go to negative 2. Doesn't have the equal sign, so we want an empty circle. And then greater than is to the right. We're going to skip this and see if we can get some that have a negative sign for the letter. No. Doesn't look like we're getting a negative sign. So we'll do this problem here, and then K divided by 2 plus 1 is less than negative 1. We're going to start by adding 1, or subtracting 1 to both sides, I'm sorry. The 1's will cancel. K divided by 2 will drop down. The sign stays the same. 1 minus 1 is negative 2, or negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. Then we're going to multiply both sides by 2. It's a positive 2, so the sign's going to stay the same. Those cancel. K drops down. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. And then we're going to click negative 4. It's an open circle. And then less than would be to the left. And these problems are all the same. The only thing that you need to remember is that if you flip the problem, so if we move what's on the right to the left or the left to the right, we got to flip the sign. If you divide by a negative, you got to flip the sign. If you multiply by a negative, you have to flip the sign. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, please email me. We can schedule a Zoom, or we'll figure out a way to get you some additional help. Have a good day.